Alright, so this is a quick video about this Ossa Explorer. I bought it recently as a project, and the guy was kind of a novice, and he'd bought it from an old guy that, I think an old guy had given it to him, that was in his barn for a long time. So he told me the motor was seized, and if you try the kickstart lever, it was definitely locked up, so I'd been soaking it in penetrating fluid. And I thought, you know what, I'll take the cylinder head off and have a look. And there's no piston in there. So what's actually seized is the conrod bearing in the crank journals down there. The crank's free, but the rod bearing is locked up. So I mean, it points to somebody maybe stripping this down, taking the piston out, cleaning it up, leaving it on a bench with the crank open like this, and I guess some surface rust has got in there on that bearing. I mean, that's my guess. I can't actually guarantee that, but I reckon you're looking at a crank rebuild. And you've got a saucer piston as well. The bore looks all right. I mean, I don't know whether it's standard or anything. I don't have a piston to go by, but it doesn't look, you know, there's a few marks in there, but it looks like it just needs a hone. But this bike's in otherwise really nice condition for its age. If you look at the screw heads there, you know, they're not really chewed or anything like that. It looks like somebody's really looked after this and give it some love, but so the cylinder head looks good as well, so it doesn't look like it's had a meltdown or anything like that. Okay, the only other issue is the tank needs to be lined, and I know that the epoxy kit is actually a really good job for that. It's got a tiny little pinhole. Let's have a look. Well, not pinhole. It's got a tiny hole there. I've been told what you do is you float some epoxy on the outside of that hole, and you seal the tank off, and then you get your mouth around there and you suck to create a tiny bit of vacuum, and it sucks the epoxy into the hole, and then you can give the tank a quick clean in acetone and be really careful because of the paint. Acetone just kills paint. Just a quick rinse of acetone, and then you use the kit, the epoxy kit, and that will have a really good key for the inside of the tank. But yeah, I was going to do this up for myself and have it as my rider because it's such a freaking cool bike. It's like the Mick Andrews Trials bike, but it's a wider ratio, so it's rideable on the road and stuff, you know, and get some speed up. Really chunky bike, really chunky forks, chunky wheels and chunky suspension. It's a real kind of man's bike sort of thing. These really nice solid levers everywhere, you know. So yeah, so you're looking at a piston. That's not going to be cheap, and if you want to throw a new crank in it, obviously that's going to be a couple of $100. So okay, well, thanks for looking.